Welcome back to day 74 of our chess journey to 1500 ELO on chess.com. Let's just jump into our game today and find an opponent. We get Kevin from International. We play the Sicilian. Kevin Agonistes. Seems quite Greek to me even. Agonistes. Sounds Greek. I'm not quite sure though. Do we get another open Sicilian? Seems like we might. Najdorf? It would be bizarre if we see another Najdorf so quickly. Yeah, we do. So what does our opponent play? We get this Opposensky variation. Yeah, sure. I can't quite pronounce that at all. Well, maybe knight to c6. This seems like a slow move. It's not a threatening move. So against this, I think we can maybe look for a fianchetto setup, and we transpose into an open dragon classical variation. The bishop comes out, and this seems like our logical follow-up. Then this, and we can't easily castle. We'll see what our opponent plays. If this is played, which it is, we will delay castling. Or will we? Now this is quite annoying actually. Do we have this move? No, we don't. I'm realizing I don't quite know a lot of dragon theory as we walked into this, as I tried to play some quick opening moves. Well, it's not ideal, but it's not the end of the world. I still think here we have to take, because otherwise this disallows us from castling. If they don't come here now, we'll go rook to e8, but they do. We don't have to capture though. I guess we can come up with the knight here. And then we can threaten this. I'm expecting the capture though, which our opponent goes for. And we get captures, 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 and captures, and our opponent is just throwing their pawn right at us. Okay, so what do we do here? h5 to meet h4 perhaps. This might be okay. Our opponent can never go here because of this bishop. I don't expect this to be an overreaction. I don't think it is. I think it's the most logical idea. Or actually, yeah, we might have to go here because the bishop and the rook supports this, but now it seems our opponent is quite well versed in this theory here. And I'm not. So their blitzing out the moves is not quite ideal. But we'll see what we can do about this. If this, this, and this, maybe we can target this pawn. This seems like a move to me. This pawn is still defended. But then once we get stuff over here, it might be lost. Is this a move? It might be. This hits us and defends, and this kind of kills off our entire idea here. So let's see here. I'm not thrilled here. I think we'll go here, hit this, If this is played, we take. If they take, no, we don't get this, but now we can maybe apply some pressure here. I think we can induce this weakening move. Or we could try pushing some pawns perhaps. This looks good, so this is not hanging. And then we can maybe move our queen up. I hope this is good. There is no way this is a good move because we don't have any follow-up. So let's push the pawn first. Our bishop should probably leave the back rank. This might be a good move in some lines. Applying pressure. And then we can get our last pieces out. Still, this doesn't quite work, I think, because we take, but then we do open up our opponent's potential for attacks. But we can occupy the H file as well. So that might not be that bad. I don't want to push this pawn yet because it's controlling some important squares. Our queen should be improved though. This bishop here, it's not really serving a great purpose right now, apart from maybe helping with this push here. Now our opponent does prepare this once again. Can we even stop the idea, or do we just try to counter it? Maybe here, and this, and we can come here and try to create a counter threat, but then they take. Still, I'd like to get some activity here. Our pieces need to leave the back ranks. This, I think we still take. This doesn't work yet because of the knight, but I guess we can see what we can get done here. This doesn't fill me with confidence. Because our opponent can still go here. Then takes. Takes. And takes. We can't go here because they double up. Yeah, I'm not quite thrilled here. Our opponent seems to be in their zone, considering their time usage. I want to make this move work because it could kill off their attack by getting to this square. But it would kill off our attack as well. They could just trade here, perhaps. Let's see what happens if they push. First of all, are we just in an awkward spot with the queen? This will happen. We can't quite jump into a good position with the knight. Maybe this first. This doesn't quite work. Yeah, I'm not convinced here. But let's connect the rooks first, as down the line as we calculate. I think we'll want the rook to be able to come here perhaps, and we might trade some material. Or we could double rooks on some file here, maybe even on the A file. This should be our opponent's move. We might have to concede some territory here. But maybe this kind of a maneuver might be okay. After trading here, of course. Or I'm saying of course here, but do we have to trade? If they go here, I don't think we have to take even. If they take, then we can go here. And if they push, maybe we go back to disallow this from happening. This only really seems like a threat, I realized, as long as we are the ones taking. So this does instill me with some confidence now, at least, that we aren't just getting bulldozed on the king side. Now this looks to be an idea, so we can try to play for ideas like this. Although it's a bit difficult to evaluate here. We can't come here because of the queen. Although the dark squares do seem to be quite nice. I'm seeing moves like this though, looking to get into the position here. The king would be forced to b1 to defend the pawn, at least in some lines, because if the knight moves, that's no good for them. They push. If they go here, we just come back and they aren't really threatening anything. So as I mentioned, I think we'll just slide on over with our pieces and play for an attack ourselves. This and this takes and we take, and then this we come back so they can't take our knight. I'm hoping I'm not missing anything, but this does look okay to me at least. This, and we take. This, we take. Now h5 might get annoying in some positions, but we should have some play of our own as well. Maybe we could even shift our attention over here and target this pawn. Now this is forced. I'm not seeing an alternative. So this doesn't work. Then we get taken. This and this. So we have to come back, as we already calculated. This and this maybe, and this is a weakness. We can come back and target here. We'll have to see what they do. Now is this a move? In this position, I think we have rook to h8. And if they take, we take, and then we can get their pieces off the board. This is no good, and moving the king does very little. I'm hoping this rook moves at some point, because we do have a threat down here. which doesn't really mean a lot yet, but it could do so in the long term. They take, and I think we'll take here. If they take our rook, we take their rook with check. Let's drop our bishop back. So we can capture here. We couldn't take here because of this pin. If the knight moves, we might always have this, although it could weaken our pawn here. I would just like to get those rooks away, so we are a bit safer. That might be nice. Pawn takes, we take. Rook takes, we take. This doesn't work, then we take. If the queen comes in, then I think we take the rook. Yeah, that seems best. What about this bishop now? Now our opponent takes here. Now which order should we do things in here now? I think we might take, but then they have this, which seems annoying. So maybe this first and then we take to force this rook away so they can't create this battery with the queen against our bishop. Now we take, I'm pretty sure at least. Yeah, I think we do. This is a target now. If this, we win the rook. If the queen comes in, then I think we just get free access into their position. We can't play this because this bishop can't move here and recapture. If the queen comes in, do we shift back here? We might consider doing so, but I think our queen should move. Now this queen comes in, okay, but do we just have this now? I'm not seeing the concrete follow-up. They can't come to h7 and they can't come to h8 and our bishop is defended. This maybe? This might be the idea. Now we get this, okay. e6 maybe? This seems logical. Don't quite want to push this because this might be a game move then. But let's try to calculate this. No, I think this is preferable. No, it's not, because now we lose our bishop. Well, we have to take, I think. This is not ideal. This is definitely not ideal. But I'm seeing this move now. If the knight moves, we pick up the rook. This threatens the knight, it defends our knight, prevents this. They can't go here. They can't go here. So I think this is our best move here. Now, how about this king move? Maybe a4? a4 looks good here. And we threaten this, forcing the king away from the defense of the knight. And here, if we get this, and takes, this should force the king away from the knight once again. So maybe this move, defending the knight like this, that might be good. But could we just come in here perhaps? Force the queen away. This square is always available though because of the pawn. Now what happens if this is played immediately? Then I think we have to go here. So they can't quite... My idea here is we can't come here, or I guess we could maybe do so. I want to take away the g7 square perhaps. We would just be dancing around our knight here, either way. I'm not really liking how our kings get into those positions here. It's not ideal, but we'll have to find out what we do about it at some point. But this does not seem like a threat to me, at least. But no, we can't come here because of this, because the knight would be pinned. So if the queen comes here, we have to go here, so as not to allow rook to h7. They find this move, but I thought we did to just have this move here, as I mentioned, and then we should be good, right? Kicking the queen out and looking for a counterplay. Let me just quickly have a look once again at this position. I think I like this idea. This, and this. Then what happens? Still, we target the knight, so the rook can't move. We threaten this, which is an annoying infiltration. The knight can't move because we can force the king out. Yeah, I think this looks quite good. And if we do get this, and this, I think our opponent is biting off more than they can chew. That pawn does not look free to me. We get a lot of counterplay. I might be mistaken though, but it does look incredibly scary trying to take that pawn. Once again, let's not pin our knight. This, and we do have to find out our concrete follow-up. This forces this. Let's have a look here. This. Can we take here? This might be a move, because this does look quite scary. This and this. The king is forced out. maybe here. We can come around here and check. No, we can't because of the queen there. This is the most concrete approach here. This, and we threaten. No, we can't quite get onto the back rank with the queen here because those squares are unavailable. They are unavailable. We can't go here because of the rook. So this is still a bit difficult. Unsurprisingly, rather. This is never a move. We take, and then what? I was looking at the idea of a check here, but it doesn't do a whole lot. Let me try to keep on calculating this. They go for it. So what happens here? Here I think we can go for this. And this looks scary, I think. I think I'd like to go in this order though, because then the knight here can't move at all. It's pinned. And the queen threatens this. This doesn't seem as good. So let's come in with the rook first. I just want to have a look at this first. They can check us. What happens if we come up and they give another check? There might be a perpetual there. Do we want a perpetual? We are down material, 2 pawns, but I think we do have the initiative though. Maybe we could walk our king over here if we get checked. And then I'm not seeing their follow-up move. Okay, let's come in here. What does our opponent intend? This, and as I mentioned, or rather this, and we come here. If they check, we should have this. And there are no more checks, the rook would be hanging, and then I'm expecting them to come back to defend the knight maybe, or something, maybe pinning our knight. But then maybe we have this infiltration. I missed this move though. I did not realize they could check us here with the queen. That sucks. And now they get this pawn while still defending the knight. Okay. Well, I think our hand here is quite forced. E6 probably, and not f6. Although, honestly, I'm not seeing the concrete difference here. What happens if this and this? Do we have this move here? It looks scary though. I think we might have it. Let's keep close to our pieces. I'm not liking our king's position here though. This looks suboptimal, to say the least. But is this a good move though? How about coming up? I'm not seeing the concrete approach here though. We can't go here because of the knight. This would have been nice. But, well, they would have had this, I guess, and we would have been checkmated. Almost. I don't want to... maybe we should come here. I think we might want to dance up around our pieces even. This seems better to me. Maybe dodging some checks. And maybe using our king as an offensive piece even. Now this knight can never check us. But this doesn't look good for us. We don't want to go here because we get pinned. This would lose a knight perhaps. Or would it? Let me have a quick look here. This and this. I think this looks good actually. It looks a bit awkward at first. But I can't quite fault it. We have to make progress, and if we go down, we go into a checkmating net, I think. I'm really hoping this doesn't lose though. Still, this can be captured, which I'm hoping it won't be, but it is undefended after all. We are just on a walk with our king here. I'm hoping it survives, but as I mentioned here, I think we can just come up. But now if this is played, our knight will be threatened. But it should be threatened either way, but we can't, it's going to be pinned if we come up here. So maybe we'll go here instead. This is kind of bizarre. Let's look at this, followed by this. Do we have a good move here? This will be defended. If this is played, and then I think this might win. Forcing us away. No, it's not quite forcing us away though. Or it might be. Still, I can't see how this is much different. I guess we'll just walk all the way up. Or maybe we can go here. Hitting the... no, then we can get skewered. Let's come here instead. Our knight... oh no, they plundered a piece, I realized. No, this is bad. Because once they take here, we have to take, and they can take with the knight now. And this should lose the game. Please tell me they don't take. Oh, they have 5 minutes though, yeah they do. And we can't move either, because the queen is going to be taken. this should be game. Thanks for the game. Well played. That's an unfortunate blunder, but that's how it is at times. Let's just jump on ahead into the game review. So today we played with 77.7 and our opponent played with 86.5. Let's have a look through the moves. This was illogical, still theory, but this was bad. I don't quite know dragon theory. If I would have played again here, I might have played this move or this move. I think this might have been good, although it's not my first intuition. I don't like playing with his backwards pawn, although most of the time we could trade it off. Well, still theory. This was an inaccuracy. We should have played bishop b to d7. Or bishop to c... knight rather. Or knight to c6 here. This wasn't ideal, but not because of this move. The best move here was h4 immediately. Launching an attack once we castled. We got this instead. We got equality. Did we have a good move here apart from h5? Queen to b6, hitting this as I mentioned, which makes some sense, I guess. Here as well, this was okay, this was bad. We should have come up here, hitting this pawn and pinning this knight. What would have happened here if this was played? Hx g4, takes, and this sack would have been best. That's not a logical move. Sacking a full piece. Still, this was not all that bad, but this was a blunder. Here we should have taken. If this, we were in a better position actually. Our best moves here include this, rook to h8 rather, queen to c5. Yeah, we did have some good ideas here. Just didn't find them in the correct order. This was bad because our position was just broken apart and we never really recovered, I think. We did play the best moves though, a lot of the time, until this was played. This was a move we looked at later on, but we found it a bit too late. This was bad, but honestly we didn't have a single good move. Apparently this, I guess. Now this can be taken. We walked up, but this just lost. Either way here, I guess our king was just too open. It was difficult to play, and we got checkmated in the middle of the board. Or rather, it's not a checkmate, but this was lost. Well played to our opponent Kevin from, I was going to say from International again. I don't know where they are from, but the name looks quite Greek to me at least. Well, thank you for watching to the end of the video. This has been our game for today, guys, and I hope to see you all tomorrow. Bye bye.